Hi, my name's Katina Michael. I'm an Associate Professor at the University of Wollongong, and I've had the special honour of being a guest editor for the June 2013 IEEE Computer Journal issue on Big Data. My co-guest editor, Professor Keith Miller of the University of Illinois Springfield, and I welcome you to this peer-reviewed journal. We have papers on big data about discovery, productivity, and policy. We are really talking about the challenges and the opportunities of big data today. We're so fortunate to have submissions from both operational and non-operational stakeholders, people from industry, people from non-government organisations who cover a cross-disciplinary view of big data. Our first paper is by Jessica Hemmerly, who for identification purposes only works at Google Inc. as a public policy analyst and for government relations. Her paper is about big data with respect to a data-driven innovation. What she argues in her paper is that we mustn't regulate too tightly data flows because that'll stifle creative industries and innovation. She goes on to talk about data literacy, open innovation, and how big data can play a big role in automated decision-making. Her paper looks to the future and how we need to come up with new models of understanding this new notion of data ownership. Following that paper is a paper by Professor Paul Tallon of Loyola University in Maryland. He's also a visiting scholar at MIT. Paul argues about the economic value of big data. He looks at issues with respect to measuring big data in a monetary way and understanding how you might go about migrating data between one tier and another. Paul's paper focuses on big data governance and talks about how we are at a preliminary stage in this notion. Organisations need to become more proactive in their approaches to licensing and regulations. Look out for Paul's two spreadsheets, which offer excellent simulation and projection capabilities for those looking at big data questions. The third paper is by Jeremy Pitt and a team of authors from the European Union. Jeremy looks at the issue of smart grid infrastructure and the amount of data flowing from these new networks. He believes in harnessing this data for collective awareness and in so doing transforming society by it. He talks about a new institution science and how we need to come up with a new way of looking at sustainability through this big data. Here are some of the positive uses. He does not, however, and his team, ignore the risks. Our fourth paper is by Professor Marcus Wiggin, Professor Emeritus of Napier Edinburgh University, and Professor Roger Clark of the Australian National University. These two authors are very well known in the Australian non-government organisation community, and they pose the questions about what are the consequences of big data. Marcus and Roger look at emerging technologies such as UAVs, sensors, and other geographic information systems and location-based services, and consider all the availability of collecting data to monitor and track individuals. The questions that they look at is what are some of the harms that may be caused to everyday consumers by the collection and retrospective use of this data that's being collected. Central to their paper is legality, such as privacy legislation, data ownership, consent, and ethics. They ponder on how we can overcome some of these big data challenges with a new framework that they propose, the Private Data Commons. Finally, and I'd have to say my favourite paper, is a paper by Carolyn McGregor. Carolyn looks at big data in little people. She's the Canada Research Health Informatics Chair, and her work on neonatal intensive care units is beyond a doubt a visionary look at how we might be able to use big data streams in order to save lives. What are some of the opportunities that big data might give us? We hope, with Professor Miller, that we have provided for you a holistic, balanced, special issue that looks at a variety of aspects from a variety of stakeholders. I'd like to mention also that this special issue was spearheaded by the IEEE Society on the Social Implications of Technology, SSIT. Both Keith Miller and I are previous editors of Technology and Society magazine, and we hope that this issue has been tinged with a balanced view on the positives and the negatives and the potential risks. I hope you enjoy this special issue.